I switch over then? So I probably need to switch to the other, this one. There we go. And hopefully I've changed the title. Did I change the title of the stream? I think I did. Soon find out. What am I looking for? Yeah. So the idea for Perseus is going to go ahead. So for those who don't know, uh, the idea is kind of just a kind of loose idea I had when I was trying to think of a concept for the game. So I've got like a little panel full of USBs and it will not stay stuck to my computer. It's annoying. Um, so the idea is going to be really simple. It's going to be a platform kind of shooter game, so kind of like Turrican style kind of game. Maybe not quite not in the same kind of vein as Turrican, but that kind of side-on four-way scrolling or eight-way scrolling platform game. You play Perseus from the Greek mythology. So Perseus was a guy who hunted monsters. Famously, Medusa is probably the most famous one he hunted. Um, but he also hunted many other monsters as well, and he's got a really nice lore behind him. So we're going to go with that kind of lore, but we're going to bring it into a steampunk era. So I will show you quickly what I've got as a temporary sprite. So again, bear in mind this is just a temporary sprite for testing. This is not the final sprite at all. In fact, Stoker's done a slight redesign of this guy now. He doesn't have the cloak anymore, but this is our main hero. So he's a Greek hero. In the new design though, he's not wearing kind of the traditional Greek outfit. He's wearing more of a kind of a modern jeans and kind of top sort of thing. Um, but he carries a little gun, so it's more steampunky. So rather than fighting with swords and shields and stuff, he's gonna carry a gun with him. And the idea being that we'll have at least for the initial Mega65 launch, I'm aiming to do just a kind of vertical slice of the game. Specific, yes, created for me in this game. Yeah, Stoker's done this specifically for the game. Yeah. So yeah, we're going to do a vertical slice of basically one level. So we're gonna get or one level kind of done, so it's fully playable. But what I was thinking is, and this is something I've talked about with a few people, there's a couple of people involved in kind of getting this project off the ground. Um, and one of the things I discussed was to try and reuse levels as much as possible. So what I'm currently thinking, and this is me and Stoker are just kind of throwing ideas out here all the time when we talk about this, is having a kind of Mario 64 kind of approach to the levels where each level has a boss of some kind, but you may have various tasks that you can do. So you do one task at a time. When you complete that test, you complete the level and you come out. Um, and then you can go back in the level and complete another task in that level, kind of like Mario 64, where each level's reused like 6 or more times to kind of stretch out how much you get out of each level. So I think what we're going to try and do is get one level with all the kind of all the tasks in it, so that there's a nice kind of playable demo of a decent size that can go with the system. I think it would be unreasonable to try and get all the levels done, say within the next 12 months or so. So I think it makes sense to focus on one and focus on it hard and get it well. um, so the idea will be that as you go through the game and defeat bosses, you will gain certain powers from the bosses. Um, which is something I think Perseus did as he defeated these monsters. He gained powers and abilities. These will be used to not only make the game a little bit easier for you, but to also go back to certain areas and complete tasks that you might not have been able to complete before. So say one of the, I mean, this is, I'm completely spitballing here. I don't think this will be one of the awarded abilities, but say one of them made you jump slightly higher, um, there would be an area in a level that you can only get to when you can jump higher, and that area would contain the task that you need to do. The levels will be scrolling in all directions, so kind of like Turrican in that respect. There will be parallax in the background, so there will be a sense of depth to it. As I'll explain in a minute, the parallax is probably going to be limited to horizontal only, but with a detailed background, that won't make too much of a difference because you'll tend to move left and right all the time. You're rarely going to move straight up and never move left and right. So that shouldn't be a problem because even though the background will move at the same speed as the foreground when you're moving vertically, the fact that you can move left and right will still present a sense of depth to it. So that should be fine. I'll go through the reasons why that is in a minute because we are going to try and add the Y scrolling component to this. The sprites will be pretty big. So this is these squares are 16 pixels by 16 pixels. So this guy is 48 pixels high, 32 pixels wide. So the sprites will be very big. This is a little bit bigger than the Turrican sprite on the Amiga. It's maybe about 8 pixels higher than the Turrican sprite on the Amiga, and quite a bit more detailed, I think. Um, Enemies likewise will be similar sizes, I guess. And the idea will be as well that as you go through the level, you can kind of gain probably gain experience points and things and kind of upgrade certain things. So you may be able to kind of upgrade your weapons and things like that. I'm not entirely sure on what that's going to be. It comes down to what we decide as a group that what's going to happen there. But that's the basic idea for it anyway. This is really the only thing I have at the moment that I can show you from Stoker. He has been doing some more work. He's been working on the redesign of Perseus, which we've kind of agreed is a better look for him. Um, but I can show you how that sprite looks in the engine. If it loads first time, hopefully it does. Okay, does it? So this is the same sprite engine that we was working on last week, and that I posted a few updates with just green squares kind of flying around. So those green squares, there were 192 of them, and they were running 16 by 16 pixels each. And that's the same amount of pixel space that these take up. So this is each one of these is equivalent to 6 of those green squares, and these are 32 by 48 pixels high. So pretty big, really. Yeah, these are all soft sprites. Yeah. Um, so yeah, these are pretty huge sprites. And what I did with the sprite system, let me just show you in here. So what I did with the sprite system was I created a way that you could define sprites much like you would do in the Vic area. So you would give an X position and a Y position and an MSB. Now I made the MSB as separate values because I didn't want to be in the situation where you were each 8 sprites would share a byte, and so it's a single byte for each of the MSBs of the sprites. But generally, this is only going to be 0 and 1 anyway. But it just makes like the update for these a bit easier. So that kind of remains the same as it would do on the C64. Pointers are a bit different because pointers are 16 bit now, so the sprites can be anywhere in memory. It's all that running this. Yeah, that's running in that bit at the bottom. Yeah, so it's a laxity release, right? How dare you? Yeah, so the sprites are 16-bit now, so that means the sprites can be anywhere in the lower 384 kilobytes of memory, which is quite a lot of memory, but it doesn't need all 16 bits of the pointer to describe that. That means that the highest sprite location is 17FF, which means you actually only need 13 of the 16 bytes to describe the sprite pointer. So what it does, and I haven't noted it in the documentation here yet, but what it does is it uses the lower 13 bytes to point to where the sprite is, and then the upper 3 bytes say how high that sprite is. So the sprites are defined in terms of their height of in terms of character heights, and the characters are 8 pixels high. So these sprites are 6 characters high, which means this upper 3 bits here has to contain the number 6, um, which means we can have up to 8 characters high. Or what I think I'm going to do is change it so that the lowest for if you set 0, it's actually 2, and then you would increase from there. So we could probably have 10 high, so that the each sprite can be 80 high. So these are rendered as individual sprites, um, rather than multiple stack sprites. However, it is only 16 wide, and you can see on my thing in here, these are the actual sprites. These long rectangles, these are sprites, and Perseus is made up of two long rectangles, which are 16 by 48 each, and it's made up of two of those. So what you're actually seeing is 64 like triple height sprites rendered side by side to make the biggest sprite. And then the only other thing in here is color as well, because the much like the characters that it is based on the same characters. You can only use 16 colors in this sprite, so you have to define which portion of this palette it's been used. So you have to set like the upper byte, and that's what that is. So this is like our Vic data registers. And one of the advantages of doing it this way is because everything's updated in the V blank at the bottom. If you change a sprite halfway down the screen, it won't glitch because it doesn't actually get updated until the V blank at the bottom. So this kind of works like the shadow sprite system we've got in the Game Boy game, in that you can change anywhere down the screen and they won't change until it goes onto the next frame. So that means we can do sprite updates in the middle of the frame, and we don't have to do everything in V blank, which is nice. And that's pretty much it for this. The other thing that they can do, and I don't know where this is going to fit in yet, I'm thinking it might be in this color system here, is the sprites can be flipped horizontally as well, which the hardware sprites cannot be done. So this gives us an advantage that we would save memory by using this rather than the hardware sprites. So yeah, that's the basics of the sprite system. I'm pretty sure Stoker's going to have an animated version of this character soon. He's been working on the walk cycle. It looks really good as well. Um, it just needs filling in. It's just kind of blocked out colors at the moment. But once he's got that in place, I will add a running character in. But what I thought we'd do tonight is would get the joystick going. So I'm just going to use a zip stick for this because I'm in the process of kind of rewiring the monster to do something a bit different to what it's supposed to do. I've ordered an extra controller pad interface board so I can do two things. Oh, there you go. Shall I show? Okay, let me show the warp cycle then. So, yeah, let's go through some of the design. Do you mind if I show some of the designs you've done? Let's go through what you've said to me. So the original show. Hang on, which was the. Okay, let's show this one because this is nice. So this was a work in progress of the different designs, and I think we're going to go with. Correct me if I'm wrong, Stoker. I think we're going to go with this one here. So the original guy was, as you saw on here, on the one that's on the Mega65 at the moment, is in more kind of traditional Greek outfit with his legs kind of bare. I think we both kind of prefer this kind of slightly more modern look to them, but the one without the coat, the cloak looks beefier and chunkier. So this is the one that we're going to go for now, and that's what Stoker's been um, working on creating the kind of walk cycle for. This was, I think, the initial start of the walk cycle. Let me show you. where the water cycle is at the moment. Again, remember this is work in progress, so obviously it's not going to look like this because this is blocked out colors and stuff mostly. But oh, there you go. So you can see what the warp cycle is going to look like. Looks kind of nice. Really looking forward to getting that in the game. It's going to look pretty sweet, to be honest. Um, so that's that, and then I'm just going to show the little concept thing that you sent me as well. So we were looking at ways to kind of enhance Perseus's abilities. Um, and one of the ideas that Stoker came up, which I really like the idea of, I'm not sure how we're going to work it out. Oh, let me show you the sketch as well. This is why Stoker is on board. He knows how to do a nice concept sketch. See who notices the little Easter egg in there. Thank you, Cracker Tar. I'll call you Crack. Thanks, Crack, for the follow. Um, and welcome to the stream. Hope you're doing well. Has anybody noticed the Easter egg in there? Greek spirals. There you go. So this is kind of the concept stuff. While we're coming up with the ideas to it, but it looks amazing, and this is why I'm so happy to have Stoker on board. He's very very good at what he does, and he's a perfect fit for this project. We're both super excited about it, which is awesome. We're like little children on Discord. And this was this is one of the kind of concepts as well. So let me put that in the middle here. Again, all of this is subject to change. So this may or may not be in. It may change. It may be maybe a core feature, may not be a core. This is all subject to change. This is just ideas that. Yeah, we are like little kiddies over project. It's brilliant. I love it. Uh, it's really exciting. So yeah. So yeah, this is it's really cool, and I love the enthusiasm from Stoker. It's really cool. It's nice to see. It's exactly what I wanted on this project. I wanted somebody who was in it to produce something amazing, and not just in it to try and make money where money doesn't exist, because there is no money in this, right? There's no money in making retro games. There just isn't, right? So you need somebody who's going to be in it for the love and passion of the project, and he's absolutely perfect for this. So yeah, thank you, Stoker. It's yeah, you should blush as well. I can't heap enough praise on you as well. um I need to speak. There's another guy as well. I don't want to mention any names because I don't know um how much they want to be known at this moment in time, but I need to speak to them about the art as well, because last I spoke to him, I was just waiting for Stoker to give me some sample art, and I mean I can safely say I'm very happy with it, and I think from judging by the reactions in chat, I think you guys are kind of can see the excitement that we've got in this project. So I'll speak to him, and hopefully we can announce some more stuff at some point. But yeah, the aim is to, over the course of this year, to create a good demo for the Mega 65. So it will be a full game eventually, but we're going to aim on just getting one kind of complete slice of the game ready to play. So hopefully, yeah, with my coding and Stoker's art, we should knock this out of the park, I think. um I wonder if I could create Creatures 3 for the basic compo. You can give it a shot. Oh, thank you, Stoker. Yeah, I think it's a good match. I think we're a good match. I think it's good, and I love the fact that um I mean more so than me as well, that Stoker really has a kind of passion for the mythology stuff behind this as well, which is really cool. Um, so I've had this kind of vague idea, and Stoker's taken it and run with it and create some amazing stuff. So uh, last secret pick. Which secret pick? Oh, shall I? Shall I show that one? Shall I show the Stoker thing that you did? Can you kick steps from the channels? He's saying mean things about me in Discord. That's a reason to promote him, isn't it? I think that's a reason to promote him. There's no limit, yeah. So yeah, so what I want to do tonight is I just want to kind of start picking the layer system apart a little bit and maybe kind of um add the vertical stuff. And I did start looking at it, but I don't think I got very far with it. I think I got sidetracked by the soft sprite stuff. So but the soft sprite stuff is looking pretty decent now. It's nice and fast. It's exactly what I want. So I'm going to leave the sprites rotating because it's actually no, actually I'm going to turn them off because I don't want it to distract from what I'm doing in the background. So I am going to turn them off. Okay, so now to turn these off, I can't remember how to turn them off now. Hang on. I need to remember what the actual sprite off thing is, because there is no kind of enabled thing. It's just down to some values somewhere in memory. Oh, it's sprite pointers. If the sprite pointer is 00, then it turns off. Okay, yeah, that's it. I remember now. Makes perfect sense. So if I just comment these out, so I kind of want to leave these in place in case I need to mess with them later on. But if I just comment them out like that, um, then they shouldn't display anymore. And then yeah, I'll just leave it on 64. So I had it on 64 because I was doing these massive sprites. So this is completely adjustable up to 256, or 255 actually. Um, yeah, I'm really excited about it because I think it's going to be an awesome game. Um, I'm hoping so soon. And one of the things I will do soon as well, Stoker, just to so I'm just waiting on finishing these two boards for Andy and Crazy UK, and then I've got a Nexus 4 board which is spare. So this is a board I originally bought to kind of keep hold of myself. But I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to donate this one to you, Stoker, so you can see it because I've got a dev kit, so I don't really need it. But and I think there's enough people that will have these that we can safely say somebody's going to be kind of keeping an eye on that. So I will build you a little case for this, along the lines of this, and get that shipped to you at some point. So obviously, with your soft sprite system, hardware sprites are not really needed. No, they're not at all. What I might do is use hardware sprites for the hood. So I might kind of regress back to C64 and use sprites for the hood system. Depending on what we need, I don't know. I mean, this is using characters at the moment for this hood, so maybe don't need them. But there's other things we can use them for as well. So we could use them for certain special effects and stuff, which would just be easier to kind of generate in sprites rather than character space. So there's a few things we can use them for, but certainly don't need them for anything in the game. Any enemies and stuff in the game, that'll all be done with soft sprites because it's just easier to do. So okay, so let's have a look at the scroller. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to turn that off. I'm going to turn the layers back on. I'm going to try and work in the top half of this one. Can I split that into? Yeah, that's fine. I just have to remember to only work in the top half of this section here. Nice speed. SP, you must be catching right up now. Really, really getting close. Okay, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to get rid of the. I've got a few debug things here and there and here that I'm just going to get rid of. I don't think that's needed anymore, but I'm going to leave it there anyway because I think maybe it's related to the joist to the floppy loading stuff. And I'm going to look at. Wait, this is drawing the sprites, clearing the sprites. Okay, update sprites. Okay, so this currently is what we have for the scroll, and it's kind of really messy here. Um, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to add some joystick controlling now. So I'm just gonna call it player for now, but it's not currently player, but it will end up being the player code. So let's create a new folder. I'm gonna call it player. Oops, uh, player, and we're gonna create a file called control. So one of the things I'm going to try and do with this is abstract the controls out completely. So so one of the problems we've got at the moment is that anybody who's got an A7 or an Nexus 4 is not going to out of the box have a way to attach joysticks to these, um, which in one sense that's kind of a little bit frustrating when it comes to developing, but on the other hand, it kind of forces us to add keyboard controls in. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to abstract out the control system completely, and I'm going to create again, this is going to be a library that I'll share, a system that allows you to define controls with like multiple buttons. So you can say, okay, I want to create a joystick control with one joystick, 6 buttons, and it will allow you to define. It will allow you to define a joystick and 6 buttons, and then it will give you the tools to assign things to those controls. So you'll be able to assign this joystick to the joystick, this to button 1, space to button 2, and so on and so on and so on. But it also means you can very easily switch to keyboard or mouse and keyboard, and things like that. So um, that will be how that kind of works, and I will share that as well. But it means that somebody who's using these will still be able to play the game using keyboard. Um, yeah. Is this some kind of high level senator? Hey, Monopoly 79. No, this is 6502. Well, it's 45 GS02 assembly. Using kick assembler. So that's probably what you're seeing as high level, is because it's using the all the kind of bells and whistles that you get with uh yeah, those rails look stupid. It's using the all the bells and whistles that you get with kick assembler, so it does look kind of high level in terms of macros and stuff. And yes, this is Mega65. Yeah. Okay, so got player. So I'm going to create a file in here. I'm going to call it control. So one of the things I have been doing, I've been saving these files as .s rather than .asm, and the reason for that is just so that the Sublime knows that these are different types of files to the normal kind of files, and then highlights them. Syntax highlights them correctly. Um, okay, right. Let's get some more alcohol in me. And let's get this imported. Went right in my eye. So what I'm trying, as I do this, what I'm trying really hard to do is keep things as kind of reusable as possible. So the layer system includes the you don't see it gets imported. Where does it get imported? It gets imported somewhere. Oh, does it get imported down at the bottom? No. Where does it get imported? I swear it's imported somewhere. Is it at the bottom of this? Oh yeah, it's imported at the bottom of this. So in fact, I'm going to get rid of that import there and put it here so that it kind of matches. Yeah, so what I'm trying to do is create files that I can share with you guys eventually. There will be maybe 3, 4, 5 files or so that will have lots and lots of things that you can use. So the layer system that you see now on screen, that will be in there. That's pretty much done. Um, then there will also be um, the raster rewrite buffer sprite system. So the soft sprite system you just saw, they will be in there as well. Hey, bigger for you. Welcome to the stream. The control system will be in there as well. And that's what we're going to look at now. We're going to look at this control system. So for now, what I'm going to do, I'm just going to hard code some things into this. So what we're going to do is we're just going to create an update in here. I'm not doing any of the abstraction. This really is just to kind of make sure that the scrolling is working here. So for now, it's just all going to be in this file. And we'll worry about that later. So this is what's currently happening. We've got various updates happening here. So these are the raster rewrite buffer updates and update sprites. I don't know what that is. That's that is moving things around in the sinus pad. So I'm going to leave those in. Um, this is our sprite updates, and there's no need for us to move these anywhere else. So why is that there though? That's a weird one. Should that be there? Rewrite buffer sprites data wipeouts. Hang on, that looks like I've made a mistake here. Because that would seem to be yeah, that doesn't need to be there, I don't think. Just get rid of that for now. Put it back if I need to. So this is our sprite system. I'm going to leave that where it is. This is our actual what's doing the scrolling at the moment. So I'm going to move this into this section here. So I'm going to change this to control update. And then reposition layers and set layer scrolls. So what these two functions do. This one, let me just remind myself again. So reposition. What is that doing? Oh, so reposition layers, what that does is you have a control layer. So here the control layer is the foreground. So the stuff right at the beginning with the bridges and the rocks, that's our control layer. And what the control layer's job is to do is to be the thing that you control. Right? So if you move this control layer around, that's the only thing you have to move. Everything else should be repositioned according to that, and that's what this function does here. In fact, I'm going to write a little thing next to it. Reposition all layers relative to control. And the definitions that we have, so that's, yeah, I've just got to remember that this bottom half of the screen is out of band. So, um, wow, Acmafin, 11 days, 11 hours watching Shan. Wow, okay. That's insane. um 7 days, 10 hours. Wow. Oh, it's always the case, that spec. The worst version of that is when you really need to be sick. That's the worst one. I remember I went to a works do once, talking maybe, I don't know, 10 years ago or something like that. And I'd been pre-gaming all day, so I'd been drinking whiskey, and I don't even like whiskey, and I've been drinking it, and red wine and vodka. I'd just been drinking everything all day on the train going there, in the pub beforehand. So by the time we got to the venue, I was absolutely paralytic already. and they did the normal kind of corporate speeches, and then at one point, that's kind of died down a little bit, and I went over to another table where one of my friends was sitting, and she passed me her. So we'd had these kind of hip flasks with alcohol in them all day, and she passed me hers, and she'd mixed about 5 different spirits in it, and it just immediately made me feel sick. Like I just wanted to vomit everywhere. Now I managed to hold it in. I was like on the edge of vomiting. Anything could have tipped me over and I would have vomited. So I knew I had to get to the toilet really quickly, and it was right across the dance floor, like up some stairs. It was miles away, so I ran all the way, and I managed to hold it in the whole freaking way. I got into the bathroom, I opened the cubicle door, and before I could even get in the cubicle, my brain just went, "You're here now," and I just plastered the whole cubicle. It was disgusting, and I'd been drinking red wine, so it looked like a murder scene. It was horrific. Um, so yeah, it's your brain just saying, "You're here. You can stop now. You can stop trying now." Yeah. And at that point, I just snuck out of the I snuck out of the thing and just pretended it hadn't happened, but it was so obvious it was me because I was covered in it as well. Yeah, it's really bad. Yeah. Anyway, right. Let's just popped in my head with you drinking random person. Yeah, that's what I need. I need some of this. I think I'm getting weaker at drinking because I'm struggling more and more each week to drink. So okay. So that reposition is what that does. So this is if we move the control layer, which is what this layer 4 is at the moment. Um, then that's what happens. And this is we're just doing some kind of hacky stuff here to move layer 4 on our own here. I'm going to move that into the update in a second. Set layer scrolls though. What this does is it takes all the fine positions of the various layers. Um, it takes the fine positions of all the layers and sets the scroll values that are needed. So this will be one area that we're probably going to have to revisit, which is this here. Now draw layers. Draw the layer. This basically will when you enter this routine, what will happen? It's a little macro when you enter into it. Um, since I stopped smoking, I seem to get drunk quicker. Maybe that's what it is as well. Yeah, because I'm not smoking as much anymore. When you enter the draw layer routine, it will work out, has the tile map actually changed? Do I need to actually redraw the layer, or can I just quit out? Is it just a fine scroll change? Um, so we can leave these in place. This is the whole kind of map redraw system here. And this is what, if I put these in here instead, this is what we're looking at as raster time. So the raster time we were seeing before was just the soft sprite raster time, and this is the raster time for updating the screen here. So in fact, what I'm going to do is I'm going to get rid of that and that, and hopefully you should be able to see. No, put that one back in, and then duplicate that one. There we go. You should be able to see how much time that is taking. So also means I can taste the missus cooking better myself again. Oh, that's so bad. That's so bad. Do you know I've been doing a lot of recently? I've been oh god, that's horribly because if we're going to jump into here, we need to have an RTS at the end of it. I've been cooking. So my girlfriend is vegan, so a lot of what I cook she won't touch. In fact, I pretty much cook for myself now and not for her. Um, I've offered to make, so she's just not hugely interested in my in my vegan cooking skills. Although I'm pretty good, so let me just stick a thumbs up on this. There we go. Yeah, so I tend to cook for myself, so I've just been making huge batches of things and freezing it. So I've got like a freezer full of bolognese and I cook vegans a bit harsh. Only militant ones. Vegan means just one dead animal on the plate at a time, right? Oh, don't. I mean, she does it. She does it more for kind of medical reasons, like health reasons, than for. I mean, obviously that concerns her as well, but she's it's more the medical stuff than anything else. I was vegan. Oh, I'm vegan every night. I mean, I'm vegan every night from the moment I shut my eyes to the moment I wake up. I'm vegan. I spend at least half of my life being vegan, probably more. I'd say 95% of the time I'm vegan. It's only when I eat that I'm not. Uh, okay, so yeah, so what we're going to do, we're going to move this over, and we're going to play around with this a little bit. So first of all, let's just put some little routines in here. So move horizontal, and that's what this is going to do. Now, the joystick stuff is exactly the same. There's actually a few ways of reading the joystick. There's the normal way with the CIA interrupts, but there's also some hypervisor calls as well, which you can use. So the hypervisor is an area of IO RAM, D600 or something. Just trying to find it in here now. Damn it, where is it? Oh, there we go. Yeah, actually, is it hypervisor? No, it's UART registers. That's what they're called. General 454. See, I don't know what they're called, but it's some areas up in memory that allow you to do various things that were a bit more difficult previously. So one of the things they can do is let you read the joystick. However, I'm not gonna go into this right now. I'm just going to use the standard method. But one of the nice things it has a keyboard reader as well, so you can actually just grab the ASCII key that's being pressed, which is nice. Uh, do vegans think that plants don't feel hurt when they're ripped from the ground and boiled alive? Or is it because carrots just don't have a cute little flame? Oh, save the planet, eat a vegan. Don't be mean to the vegans. Vegans are all right. The only time I don't agree with veganism, and no, sorry, that's wrong. I agree with veganism. I think that's absolutely fine. What I don't agree with is people shoving it down my throat, making me feel bad because of my choices. So um, yeah, so like militant veganism is so frustrating, so frustrating. Somebody who will Well, there's two levels of it. There's the level of it where a vegan will tell you you're not being vegan. So if you're trying your best to kind of eat a vegan diet for whatever reason you choose to do it, and then somebody will say, oh, honey isn't vegan, or avocados are vegan, but we frown upon avocados because X, Y, Z, or whatever. There's it's those type of people I don't like. Those people who will have a go at you for doing your best to do something. They feel they're better because they don't eat a particular brand of whatever because at some point the owner of that company ate a steak once and boasted about it. That kind of people I can't stand. Just it doesn't affect you, so butt the fuck out. Just you go and be vegan in your way, and let this other person be vegan in their way. Stay out of their fucking life. And the other kind I don't like are the ones that are just kind of um, so I'm trying to think of a way to say it without sounding fucking awful now. Um, no, that's just gonna go. They guilt trip you. They guilt trip you into like, well, you eat meat. Oh, why do you eat meat? Have you seen what they do to? Yes, I know that the meat industry is not a nice place, but I like meat. So what am I gonna do? I'm not. I'm. You know, I hate the guilt trip vegans. They're the worst. Anyway, right. It wouldn't be a Shallan stream, would it, without me ranting about something? So I completely get why people are vegan. I completely get why people don't like vegan people don't like that people eat meat, and that's absolutely fine. What I don't like is when they will, you know, they will have a go at you about it, and it's like, seriously, shut up. How's the soldering going? Yeah. Oh yeah, when they force it on their pets as well. I mean, pets, you know, a cat is not supposed to eat fucking vegetables. A cat is designed. A cat is meant to eat meat. So when you get people just like forcing their cats to eat vegetables, it's like Jesus Christ. Or when they can grow meat in test tubes, they will turn into meat eaters. Yeah, maybe. Yeah, but you wouldn't make your dog eat nothing but spring rolls, right? You would make sure it got some meat now and again. The Impossible Burger is really nice as well. I have to say, I of all the different kind of vegan kind of transition foods when people are moving from meat eating to veganism, the burgers are really good. They're getting very good at making fake meat burgers now. Tastes very close. Good choice of song, by the way. It's going to be oh, it's not Aquafin. Andy, sorry, it was SP this time. Right, so we're just going to do joystick control like normal. So that's going to be this. We're going to just actually let's do it. Let's go a slightly different way about it. I don't normally do it like this, but let's do it this way. So one of the things you can do. Actually, we don't even need to do that now. Actually, yeah, we don't need to do that. Okay. So one of the things you have with 45 GSO2 that you do not have with 65010 is the ability to do this. You can do the bit with an immediate value, which is something you didn't have in 6502. So it's nice that that's there. Animals are nature's way of preserving meat. Oh, I like that. I like that. Okay, so we're just going to go through these, creating these kind of bits individually here. Um, Actually, it really doesn't matter because we're still going to have to load this in at some point anyway. So I'm going to put. See, this is all going to change. This is going to be an abstracted concept anyway at some point. So uh, we taught this lion to eat tofu. Yeah. Oh my god, tofu. I really want to like tofu because honestly, when I look at pictures of recipes, they look awesome. But then when you eat it, it's just like, well, what is this? There is nothing. There's nothing in this. And so I just kind of I try about every 6 months. I try and make something with tofu, and it never works. And every meal I've ever ordered with tofu never felt right. It's just it's a nothing. I finished the game. No, I'm busy ranting about veganism. I see. As I say, I don't. I have nothing against veganism. I've tried myself to do it, and I just can't do it. I can't keep it up. It's not veganism itself that I have a problem with. It's the people who feel the need to police veganism. Like it's like you can only join the special vegan club if you if you comply to certain rules that they decide. So veganists, yeah, that's yeah, militant vegans. That's the what I call them. So just merge it in others. Yeah, it's to me, it's just mush. It's just like a weird mush. It's yeah, it's only fine if you cover it in sauces and other stuff like sesame seeds and things, stuff to kind of give it some kind of texture. Okay, what I'm going to do, I'm going to grab this. I'm going to store it in Oops. Store it here, and this is just going to be a little byte that we store. The reason I like to do this is because it gives us some consistency. Not that anything would change throughout this routine, because this happens so quickly now. But there used to be some cases on the C64 where we could get some weird results um, if you didn't store it. So it's just a little bit easier to do this kind of with a value here. Then you're only actually reading this value once. Then I know I'm storing it here. I'm just trying to be consistent between each kind of section here. So I'm just going to add all the sections in, and then we're going to add the joystick control for left and right because we already have that running. Um, and then we'll work on adding the vertical stuff as well. So I want to do this a little bit more often. So probably, so oh god, oh no, the fuck? Oh seriously? So I'm going to start doing this at least once a week. I'm going to do Mega65 when the Saturday game is complete, which I'm hoping it will be at some point. Um, then bacon, sausage, and tofu. Oh, bacon's probably the reason I couldn't be a vegan. Yeah, when the Saturday game's complete, we'll dedicate the whole of Saturday to doing this. So you will start seeing more of kind of Perseus on a regular basis. Fire, I'm not concerned with at the moment. Again, we one of the things we need to work out is basically what how the control system is going to work, because by default you're only going to have one button on these joysticks. The Mega 65 is just a Commodore basically, so um, the buttons, you're only going to have one button. Now, this is one of the reasons I got a monster joystick, was because I wanted to have a button with a joystick with two buttons on it. But unfortunately, that doesn't kind of work like I would expect it to on the Mega 65. So I need to do a bit more testing around that. It could be that the Mega 65 is not set up to emulate the second button quite the same. Um, and we may need to change things ever so slightly, which is why I want to put keyboard controls in it. But I'm thinking at least two buttons, either one button and spacebar, which is kind of like the Turrican controls, or a two-button joystick, or just on keyboard. For the rest of Did he have a dog called Cerberus? Yeah, we've got to get Cerberus in the game somehow as well. Okay, so here's all our oop, that's one's wrong. Here's all our joystick controls. So let's just put the left and right first. So we've got this move. So at the moment, what is this doing? This is just adding a value to the layer and comparing it. Okay, so let's just take a quick look at what they go. Yeah, Cerberus is the three-headed dog that guards the underworld. So I'm just wondering if we can put them in. So Rodrigo3141, thank you for the follow. Welcome to the stream. There's loads of really cool ideas I want to implement in the game, and I'm sure Stoker's got a ton as well. So uh, take care, Warlock. Um, Cerberus would make a great Chinese dish. I think there's a wasn't there a monster called Cetus, which was like an underwater kind of beast that he slayed to oh god, who was his wife or girlfriend? Okay, was it Athena? I think was it I can't remember now, or Andromeda. One of those ones beginning with A anyway. And I think he rescued Hang on. Let me just check that. Perseus Cetus. Because if that's the case, that yeah, Andromeda, that's right. So yeah, Perseus slew Cetus to save Andromeda. Yeah, large sea monster. Because yeah, that would be an interesting underwater level. I mean, I don't know how that would fit in, but yeah, we do need to research it well. So the tricky thing is going to be modernizing it or steampunkerizing it somehow. That's going to be the really tricky thing to get right. But I think we're on the right lines already. So um, I think we can do it. I think we definitely can do it. All right, let's make this horizontal move something a bit more generic. So at the moment, it's just taking a value and it's adding it to fine. It's actually adding two here. But what we could do with doing is making this work in both directions. So given a value, so let's say the accumulator contains the value we want to move. So that, in this case, it would be like so, and then in this case, it would be like that. Sorry, so go backwards. So that means here what we need to do is we need to add that value. So what we can do is we can store that at like so. So using self mod again here. So now that's adding that value. So we can do two checks here. First of all, we can check. Let's just skip that a second. Uh, I think we can take a few liberties with the game as well. So I mean, there's Greek mythological creatures that would work really well. I don't think Perseus slayed Hydra. I'm pretty sure it was Hercules, wasn't it? Who slayed Hydra? I think it was Hercules. Oh, Heracles. Okay, so Heracles was the one that slayed Hydra, but I mean, it may be. Oh, it's Heracles, just another word for Hercules. Oh, yeah, it is Hercules. Okay, so if we're running out of monsters, we can do that. But then again, yeah, I just realized that. Um, if we're running, I think Perseus has quite a lot that he's killed. So I think there was. I think there's quite a lot that we can get from it. But yeah. I love the idea of being steampunk as well. I can do. I kind of got vague visions of what it's gonna. I can't wait to see what you do with the background artwork, Stoke. It's gonna look amazing. Okay, so first of all, we check. Is it more than 10? Okay, so we're not going to check that first. First thing we're going to check is, are we in a negative number? Because if we're in a negative number, then we've gone backwards. So magic minus, uh, backwards. So we're just going to put here. Oops. Uh, Forwards here, like so. Let's get rid of them. That's annoying. Um, Otherwise, we're done. If we're done, then we can exit. And so we need to make sure that that is stored at this location. Now, this number is our control number. So what I'm going to do instead of using 4 here is I'm actually going to grab that from control layer number here. Which I think it's just on its own, so I should just be able to grab it. Soon find out, because if this works or it doesn't, right? So if the number is negative, we go backwards. If it's 10 or more, we go forwards. Otherwise, we can jump directly to done. So this is the bra is a branch always instruction, which basically is just a jump, but a relative jump. It's like doing JR in Z80. Um, so that gives us three outcomes here, with the final one being do nothing, just exit. If we've gone forwards, then this is what we need to do. We need to take these values and we need to add one to it. So this is probably accurate here up to this point. Yeah. But before we do that, the first thing we need to do is we need to take this value that's already in the accumulator and we need to AND it with 0f and then store it. And the reason we need to do that is because we need to make sure that that value is wrapped into this area here, or else it's going to go horribly wrong. So, oh, a souvlaki takeaway feature. Uh, we know what a bra is. Okay. Do you really though? Do you really? It doesn't quite work when we're all like mid-40s, does it? Okay, so again, I'm going to add this control layer number here. And this is going to be control layer number here. And all we're doing here is just making sure that the map wraps around if we reach the end. So this will probably change again because we probably don't want it to wrap around. We probably just want it to stop when we reach the edge. And actually have the scrolling be different. But for now, I'm just going to make it wrap around. This is purely just to kind of get this stuff working. So backwards is pretty much the same, but going the other way. And this time we switch these values around. So this becomes the value here, but -1. Oops. God. And here, instead of going forwards, we go backwards. And this time we don't need to do the comparison. We just need to check that the carry bit is still set. If it's set, we jump to here. Otherwise, we need to reset the value up to here. And that should take us the other direction this time, which means now that we no longer need the rest of this anymore. Our find value is made and stored here and updated in these sections. Same here. And our course value is set if we exceed those boundaries. So I think what should happen now is we should have joystick control over the map, left and right anyway. Yeah, it's 45 GSO2, so it's a derivative of 65 CEO2, which is a derivative of 65O2. Okay, I'm not seeing any joystick control at all. Interesting. So we did control update, which comes into here, takes the value in here, stores it here. Okay. Interesting. Uh, Interesting. Why is that not working? DC 100. That should be reading the joystick. Oh, wait. What? Kind of. Something kind of happened then, but I'm not sure what it was. That's weird. So too, I'm going to store that in the border as well. Oh, which is not going to matter because these are going on down here. All right, well, let's see what happens. I would expect to see some changes anyway in the border. Hey, Warzoid. Oh, you were the one that asked about 45. Oh, see, look, it went that way and then it stopped. And it kind of, yeah, something mighty weird has gone on here. Yeah, in fact, the team, not the team behind, but somebody on the Mega65 kind of Discord has ported the ZX Uno cores to it already, so you can run Spectrum games on it as well if you want. Can you hardware understand? Yeah, not yeah. As Andy says, not really. It's still kind of retro in that it's using retro style kind of stuff. Um, I'm not entirely sure what's happening here. Let me put an RTS in here. Something weird is going on. I can't figure out what it is. Could I model an AT4 86? I mean, it just comes down to whether or not you can model it in the space that you have for writing these cores. So if see that works, that's weird. See how there's a different color for each. Oh no! Look, it stops. Something stops it after a while. That's bizarre. It just comes down to how many kind of logic circuits you can emulate with or you can kind of set up. So, but I mean, 84, 86, possibly. I mean, it's kind of the right speed and stuff for that era. So it's potentially could be done. Yeah. I don't know I don't know how complex the 486 chip is in terms of logic gates that are required for it. Um, yeah, so I think the internal clock is 450 megahertz, but obviously you have to divide that into kind of however you set your circuitry up. So that's worked out at being 40 megahertz for the Mega 65. So it depends on how it's configured. I don't know enough about how FPGAs are programmed to give you a proper answer on that. But I wouldn't expect you to get full 450 megahertz out of it when that's how fast it can work, but you're abstracting another layer on top of that. So obviously it's going to be slower than that by a certain amount. Um, I'm not sure why this is getting stuck here, but it is getting stuck here. Could it be something to do with no, because then why is the border changing color? Huh. Okay, I'm just gonna try something out because I'm a bit concerned that um, that simple section here is just locking up after a while, and I don't know why. I know the joystick stuff works because I've done it with the Turok and stuff. Ah, that had a little bit of Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy in it then. Yeah, see, it stops after a while. I wondered if I'd notice. Yeah, I did notice. Told you, Hitchhiker's Guide. I love Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. Damn it! All right, something happens after a while here, and I'm not sure what. Take care, Micro Man. Thanks for joining. Are you doing well? So I'm gonna do this for another hour and 15 minutes, and then I might play half an hour or an hour or so of GoldenEye. Uh, it's a couple of levels I'd like to figure out. Um, hmm. So why might this be causing a problem? Okay, tell you what I'm gonna do. Gonna remove even more now. I'm gonna remove these. Maybe it's getting stuck there. So now I'm literally just running this section over and over and over again. So if it gets stuck now, then I don't know what it is. It could be maybe it could be an IRQ thing. Pretty sure the IRQs are turned off though, but maybe I have to make an IRQ for it because I'm still not using IRQs yet. So okay, there we go. Oh, there. Oh, wait a minute. No, hang on. No, 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 no. No. Okay, something's broken. Hey, GF. Um. Hmm. Uh. Oh, that's a very good point, actually. Anton sent me a message. I'm going to relay it to you now. Um, there is an official C65 demo. I don't know where you would get that from. Maybe Anton can clarify where you would find that. But there is an official C65 basic demo that Fred Bowen and his team created, and it highlights some of the features of the C65 in Basic 10. Some parts don't work, but it gives you a good idea of to look into how it works. It's got lots of stuff in it. I think Anton and Deft actually showed this on one of their videos not long ago. So it's probably worth looking into that. And if you want some ideas, getting some stuff around that. I'll answer those shortly. Okay, so we've got a problem here that for some reason using the joystick after a while causes a lockup. And I don't see any reason why that would be the case. Certainly, none of this code is in. Let's see where it is actually. Okay, so the code is in kind of a fairly standard area. I mean, there's nothing down here that would cause an issue. Um, but for some reason, this loop causes an issue after a while. So let me set interrupt disable here. Maybe it's something to do with interrupts. Let me just turn that off. See what happens here. You see the colors, and the colors should be consistent, right? So I'm not advancing the color. I'm just putting a value. There you go. It's stopped again. It's putting a value in memory, but for some reason it's freezing there. 2BC9. Okay, so that is. I mean, that doesn't help me at all. Hang on. Oh wait, where the hell is that? Where the hell is that? Remember, that's somewhere weird. Uh, okay, that's a weird one. So I'm in this routine. I'm doing nothing else. This is disabled. This is disabled. The C65 ROM is disabled.
this is loaded in, these layers are drawn, and then nothing else is happening except this in a loop. And for some reason, it's knackering up. So the reason I think there's something weird here is if you look at the run address here. So if I go R, it thinks I'm at this 7772D73, although I think that might be okay. This is the only problem with Mega65 dev is a lot of the time I'm just going to be sat here trying to figure things out as well. Why would it? Okay, so that didn't do anything. For some reason at this point it breaks. So let's go into where it's not broken and then bring up the monitor, see if it's in the same code, because I want to make sure that the memory address that it's in isn't wrong. So joystick control definitely works because I had Turrican running and it was absolutely fine. I might show you that in a minute actually, because I don't think it's going to go anywhere. So okay, so see how this looks different now. The memory. Oh no, look, memory address is still in a weird place. All right. Okay. Fine. Yeah, I'll quickly show you the video of Turrican. So this was just work in progress. I kind of stopped. Oh, hang on, let me. I don't mind showing you this because I don't think it's going to go anywhere. So still needed quite a lot of work still, but it was kind of mostly functional. Oops. I don't have the power up box. They don't show any power up box in here. Maybe not. Yeah, that was kind of it. I thought I'd put power up blocks in there, but maybe I didn't. Oh yeah, I did. There you go. Yeah. Who knows? One day maybe I'll go back and do that, but I don't want to do it unless I can get proper rights to it. So okay. So yeah, you can see the joystick control works. I don't know why it's a problem in here. Up and not up at the same location. Yeah, no, that's fine. They're all like that until they've got stuff in. It's got nothing to do with that. I'm exiting out before that even happens anyway. Yeah, this is just so that when I put some code in the middle here, I've got I've got the right branches in here. In fact, these first branches don't even do anything. So I'm confused as to why we're not seeing anything. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to undo some of the crap in here, and I'm going to put. Okay, it's not going to let me put that back. Apparently, I did some other undoing before that. Okay, I'm going to take this bit here. Any messages on there? Okay, hang on. Let me just check this in case it's something important. It is not. Okay, that's good. So I'm just going to put a fake kind of scroll in here from this bit. So don't care about that. Done there. Rid of that. So that can stay in there. So this is just so I can make sure that stuff is still moving in the background. So this is kind of what we're trying to implement, but I just want to leave it there so I can test the joystick out. Because what I don't understand is why the joystick control would have any effect on anything. Is the bra too tight? Okay, so there we go. We've got some stuff scrolling. Oh, and it's not failing now. Oh, there we go. Stop working. But it's still scrolling. So the routine is still happening, but the control update is doing nothing. It's like this is screwed up for some reason. Or it's using a weird palette or something. No, it wouldn't be a palette. Okay, it's fine. So what we're going to look up is where joystick is now. 2BC0. Okay. Seven F. Yeah, that makes sense. I'm going to push up on the joystick. Oh, 2BC0. Damn it, should have 2BC0. 7F. Oh, it's like it stops reading the joystick after a while. Interesting. Interesting. Hmm. I don't know why it would do that though. Hmm. Right, tell you what, I'm going to take a quick break. We're going to do about another hour, so I'm going to take a quick break now. It's going to freshen my head a little bit. Let's try and get through this wine, and then we'll do some golden. I don't know why this is not working. This is very strange, but this gives me something to experiment with. So I shall take a look at that. I'll be back in 5 minutes, guys. We're back. All right, I'm back. Right, I have no idea why this joystick is not reading. So I'm actually going to show you, because I'm going to actually just do a quick test in it because I know it works in here. So I just want to quickly. Oh, actually, this is. Oh no, it's not going to work because I've not got the right assets on the disk. See, so it's going to be jumbled garbage on the screen, but I might be able to test the controls anyway. Okay, so oh, it does behave differently. What the fuck? Okay.
It's not going to help at all. Why, why would that not work? Everything's fine. Oh, what? Nothing. Nothing at all. What am I doing? What is different here? What have I done? Why would this not work? Let's get rid of that middle. Let's start reducing this down. Yeah, it's in the right port because it works for a short while, and then it just stops working. I don't get it. It's. I mean, maybe I've done something to my joystick. Something. Yes, it's not working at all now. What the hell? Yeah, let's give it a hard reboot. It's a good idea. Sometimes that is a case as well. So okay, so let's try again. Hey, Proton. CIA emulation issue, possibly. I mean, it's weird how it's only just start. I've never seen this before. In the months I've had this, I've not seen this ever happen before. So, but I don't see any reason why this would do it right. Okay, see, look, and then I stop, and then the colors stop. Could it be CIA direction issue? Maybe. No, no, no. It's all FPGA, so you can't really blow. Oh, wait, what? Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Is there some other value it's fucking kidding me? If that's the case, I'm gonna scream. Okay, no, that's not it. I mean, let's get rid of these things anyway. Because I don't need those now, so let's just get rid of those. Probably should put a proper raster interrupt in at some point. But again, I wouldn't have thought it was those unless it's somehow getting stuck here. But no, because it wouldn't be able to run the rest. So uh, yeah, and it stops. Just keep doing it. Yeah, no colors now at all. Okay, let me try reading a value from somewhere different. So, as I said, there's this 4551 general purpose IO. So somewhere in here there is a joystick setting. Is it J2 on? Hang on. Input output values. Or maybe it's the data direction. Maybe that's changed for some reason. Oh, what? And then it stops again. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. And the fire button does stuff. So the fire button's working, but this isn't. Which makes me think it's a palette issue, maybe. Um, and then what the fuck? I don't get it at all. Things I'm not even using a raster interrupt anymore. I'm just using a standard thing. So yeah, maybe it's the cable. Oh, of course, it's working all the time now. Starting to think it is a cable issue. Oh no, see, look, stopped completely now. I'm not going to do anything with the cable. It's going to wiggle. See, the fire buttons work. That's the weird thing. I can't at the moment because I need to wire it up. So, God damn it. that's pretty good. That's pretty good. There's some other thing going on here. Let me just unravel everything. Okay. Okay, it's not breaking there. Could it just have been picking up interference from something, maybe? Oh no, there we go. Stopped. Yeah, it is very, very slow. Do you want to see software sprites done properly, Proton? Uh, there's the. Oh, I've turned it off. Hang on. Might as well show something that works while we're waiting on this. It's really weird. I don't get why that's not working. It's very strange. So that's all software sprites. Hmm. I tell you what, I'm going to try. I'm going to try the other joystick port. Maybe it's something to do with joystick port 2 only for some reason. Let's try it in here. Okay, so I need to actually restart with. I just don't quite understand why it's suddenly breaking. It's not a great night for progress, is it, on this? But whatever. Yeah, it's not working at all. What the hell? Maybe it's my data direction registers. Maybe they're not set properly. I can't remember what they are now, though. Let me just. It shouldn't be though, because I'm not doing any keyboard stuff. So if I did, what it is now. Just checking through the memory map for C60. It's the same memory map here. So DC02 can only be red. Okay, so if I set that to, if I just do that, back there. Yeah, software sprites are a nightmare on the C64. There's a few tricks you can do to kind of help a little bit, but I mean, generally they're not great. The trick I do on Checkanoid is to never have software sprites that need blending into the background, so there's never any blending. But because of the design of the levels, it kind of works. It doesn't work on some things. Like we also don't have blending on pick and mix, but it doesn't quite work. You get the gaps. Um, oh shit! Should that be the other way around? Should that not be? I got that the wrong way around. I think I have, haven't I? Should be that. I think. Hang on. It's right in a minute. So annoying. It's like every now and again this happens, and I end up spending more time. Yeah, that's not working at all now. What the hell have I done? If it isn't that, then thought you could set that though, and then it would work out. Key press. Yeah, this should just work though. This shouldn't need anything more. This should be enough, and it should just work. I don't get what's going on to stop it from working. It doesn't make any sense to me whatsoever. Got an RTS at the end here. Not that it matters because we're just running this at the moment and it's failing. So that's fine. Oh, what's that in the middle? Oh wait, hang on. Is it? Is there something else weird going on here? Okay, it stopped now. It only stopped when I released it. You see, I was holding onto it for a while. I can press fire. I'm not sure what that is at the edges. Like, why is that changing? See, if I hold up, just hold it, and it's fine. Let go. Yeah, okay, fine, fine. The border color changes are in the code, yeah. But I'm not sure what that black area is about there. That's weird. And that look, it stops. Sake. Yeah, I've already done that. I've done that. It was my last search. There's literally two places where it happens. One when the screens are initialized, which is here, which happens once. This bit here. Where is it? So no, sorry, in this bit here in the init. There. And that never gets called again. This whole thing only ever gets called once. It's called here, and it's never called again. And the only other place is in this joystick routine, which is called all the time. So the only thing I can think of is that either the palette is changing at some point, and so we're not seeing the values, which is possible because the palette does have to change to do various things. But how often are you calling the read? Once per frame, same as I would do normally in any other game. So is it raster timed? Yeah, once per frame. Yeah, all right. I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to try and change one of the bytes at the top of the screen in the HUD. That's probably the easiest way of doing it. Which is fucking annoying, but all right. So now I've got to figure out where the hell that lives in the HUD. Okay, so I can do this from the build data here. So we have a HUD layer which is DE offset from. Wait, is that right? Doesn't look right. Oh no, 1BE. There we go. And that's our screen position. So this is our screen is like, fuck's sake, our screen is miles off in a weird direction. Um, oh god, this is annoying. All right. Trying to think of an easy way to, easy place to put this. Yeah, that's exactly what I'm about to do. Yeah. Problem is, I need to write to a weird area of memory now, which means I've got to set up a freaking place in zero page just to do this because I'm writing to a high area of memory. So I'm just going to use. This is so ridiculous to need to do this. I can't. It has to be a palette issue. It has to be. Otherwise, this would be fine. Oh, actually, here's what we can do: is if uh, and then right, any movement of the joystick now should scroll the screen. I'm going to turn off those sprites now because I don't need them there. Turn off the scrolling here. Annoys me when I spend all this time doing stuff like this. Right, see, pressing fire. See how pressing fire moves the map? And what I'm doing is I'm checking for any value in here that changes. So I'm taking the value, ending it with 1F, so I get just the joystick portions of it, and storing it in joy. Then I'm comparing that value with 1F, and it's anything other than 1F, then that means something has been pressed down. And you can see I can press left and it works, and then it stops. Fire still. Oh, fire is on auto fire. Okay. But yeah, there you go. Look, fireworks, directions don't. Fireworks, directions don't. And then every now and again, just get a little bit of it working. It's not the cable. It's really not the cable. Yeah. Oh no, that was because I was holding fire. All right, damn it. Press fire, it works. Oh god, I'm losing the will to live. Really, I'm losing the will to live. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to test it. Sam's journey. Joystick test now. Yeah, Rage. I do really feel like it as well. I feel so angry. I hate it when I waste time doing things like this. To be fair, this is kind of half of the course we're doing a lot of makes because it is a work in progress kind of thing. So there are going to be things that are broken. However, I don't think this is what's going on. I think there's something else going on here that I'm not quite getting. But I think the joystick's knackered. I think my fuck's sake. All right.
After all that, if it turns out to be the zip stick, I'm gonna be so frustrated. Frickin' is as well, isn't it? It's the zip stick. You are kidding me. Oh no, look, there you go. It's gone again. Right, all right. 1 sec. I'm gonna have to quickly fix this. God damn it. All right, give me a minute. I'll sort this out. I wonder, actually, because let me just try very quickly. So I had the monster joystick plugged in and it was quite tight fit. So I'm just wondering if it's to do with the fit of the joystick or something. This might work actually. It freaking is. It's to do. Do you know what it is? The wire that came with a monster joystick. This end is a very, very, very tight fit, and I think for some reason it's made it difficult for the other one to register for some reason. I don't know why. Because it's working fine now. God damn you. Yeah, you did. You did say get the monster. Yeah, you're right. Problem is, I do need to. The board that I've got in there, I've messed around with, so it doesn't work properly at the moment. So I need to. I've got some spare boards here that I need to put in. So I just couldn't be bothered doing it. But that is ultimately frustrating. I'd love to know the exact reason, but it does seem to be something to do with the difference between the leads. I I couldn't tell you exactly why, but yeah, they don't exist yet. They will do eventually one day. That's so annoying. So as long as the map is moving, it's working, and the map is moving. Right. So after wasting most of my Mega65 time to do that, this is not going to be one of the streams I save and put on YouTube. That's for sure. Okay, let's change this up a little bit then now. Let's get back to what we were doing, which is this. Okay. So now, hopefully, if I run this, get rid of that now. Need that. I should get two-way direction. All I wanted to do tonight was put vertical scrolling in. Do you have to do anything with D02 F or D? No, it's you shouldn't need to do anything. It should just work. Yeah, see that's working there. See, it's got that flick because we're at the edge of the map, but yeah, I can move left and right perfectly fine now. Fuck's sake! All right, that's so irritating. So irritating. Okay, so just be careful with the monster joystick leads. For some reason, plugging that into my Mega65 has now made my zip stick not work in my Mega65 without using that lead, and I don't know why. If it was a case of the Mega65 was female pins and the joystick was male, it would make sense that one had kind of expanded the other too much.
But that's not the case. So I can't for the life of me think why that would have changed, unless unless no, well, unless the pins in this have expanded this slightly. Well, anyway, it works now, so it's fine. I just need to remember to use that joystick thing. Oh god, so annoying. So much time wasted on that now. That's all right. It's all right. Golden eye in half an hour. That'll chill me out. No, what's nothing better to chill you out than to repeatedly throw yourself at a problem that you can't seem to solve. So I'm going to do exactly the same with Golden Eye. Anyway, thanks for the suggestions, guys. We got there in the end. Bit of Doctor Who. Okay, right. So control. So let's try. After all that, let's try moving up and down. So in theory, I should be able to do the same with horizontal, and that I'm doing with horizontal with vertical as well. So let's give it a try. I mean, I don't know what the upper bound is on this, so I'm just going to stick with. Oh, actually, I can just do map. Actually, let's just leave it like that. I don't think it will matter right now. Just need to see if it even works. And just change this all to Y throughout this. But other than that, it should stay the same. And obviously the fact that the boundaries are different, but hopefully that's kind of correct. So down would, oh, pardon me, down would be this, but move vertical. God, I'm so annoyed. I really hate when I waste so much time over something that turns out to be some stupid little issue. And I should have realized that I had the monster plugged in, and the monster was behaving weirdly as well. And now I'm starting to wonder if I even was testing it correctly. I'm starting to consider whether I should have even bought a monster joystick. It's caused me more stress so far than it has actually been useful. So, good night, X Blip Blop. I like that name. That's good. Okay, so I can move up and down, but I don't have any fine control over it. But it is moving up and down. Okay, I mean the. Oh, okay. I've obviously hit a boundary there that I shouldn't have hit. And I don't know how to get back out of that again. But okay. 6. uh, and you took his 6 shillings away from him. Terrible. Be gone, peasant. Oh man, you twisted. Okay, so if we go backwards, okay, right. So let's work out what our layer heights are and stuff here. Okay, so layer configs. Here we go. So it's going to tell me how big a layer is. And do we have map height. So stick that in. The vertical one, so that can be that. Get width. Okay, so we don't actually have a height in here, so I think this is actually screen row count. But we're still not getting that fine control, and that's probably because we're not setting that. I think it is being changed, but it's just not being set. So it's got this on 3 screens at the moment. Oh,
What did that do? That did some weird shit. I'm not entirely sure what it's doing there, but something's gone horribly wrong there. Map height. Okay, let's have a look at our map height. What is map height? 34. So it's not very big. So really, I would expect going down to be. I'm going to set this manually to 24. See what happens. You guys and your gambling fallacies. Yeah, I'll do some speed running at half past. So I just want to try at least some of this kind of out. Like, where is it getting? Like for some reason, this vertical value just screws right up immediately. So let me just get rid of that test completely and get rid of that test completely. This is in the move vertical, move vertical, move vertical. Yes. Because it was almost right the first time I did it, and then it just suddenly screwed up. So okay, yeah, I don't know why, but doing those other things causes problems. Okay, also notice how it's moving relatively slowly. It's not moving quickly. That means that the fine values are being set. They're just not being displayed. So that's because in here, in our layers, which has got the set layer scrolls, we're only setting the X fine and not the Y fine. So we need to do the same with the. Oh, hang on. Is this the? Oh yeah, this is layer offset. So when we scroll in the X, we do it by moving the actual layers themselves. We don't have that luxury with the Y. There is no Y layer offset. All you can do in the Y position is change where characters are read from, which is why fine scrolling in the Y on multiple layers is going to be kind of difficult to do. So just another anti player. So I'm going to copy this routine because this is pretty much the same. So I'm going to keep it as two separate loops, even though it could probably be done in one. But instead of doing this set layer offset here, what we're going to do is we're going to actually set some values in memory, which are going to set the Y scroll here. So first of all, we need to grab our layer Y fine here, not the layer X fine. And now we need to set some values. Now, this may need doubling first. And the reason it may need doubling first is because the rasters actually, there's two rasters per line. And so in order to scroll the screen vertically, we need to double up the kind of amount that we need to move. Let me just find where that value is, the Y scroll, because I do not remember. It is... Oh my god, where is it? Text Y D04E, I think. D04E. Yeah, D04E. Right. And in fact, I'm going to use the Turrican code as a guide here because I don't remember the exact values, but there is a like a default value. So I'm just going to go and check the Turrican code because it's going to give me the best guess on how to use this value.
So it'd be D040. And we 40 subtract the map. Yeah, so it is double actually. And then we add 28 to it. Okay. Okay, so add 28 store D040. Okay. So that means we need to take 20 and we need to subtract this from it twice. And then add 28. And then I think I can just store it at D040. Right, let's see what happens. I might need to put I don't think this is needed, this upper byte. So what these addresses do, so they're called the text charge end positions. So they work a bit like the kind of hardware scroll that we have on the C64, in that they shift the contents of the screen, but they do it by just telling the VIC where to start drawing. So normally on the C64, once the raster gets to line 50 or 32 in hex, it starts drawing, it starts fetching and drawing stuff for the screen. But what you can do on the VIC-4 is you can tell it exactly which raster line to start doing that on. So that gives you like a full screen of hardware scrolling. It also means you can use it to remove the borders and draw in the borders easily. So if you remove the borders by changing the border size to 0 and then tell the charge end to start drawing at row 0, it will start drawing the screen at the very top in the border. So you actually have chars in the border, and then you can have like an extra 6 or 7 rows of text on the screen. Same with the side borders as well. The side borders have exactly the same. So you can use the entire screen and have a char map there. Doesn't have to be sprites only in the borders. You can do all sorts. Um, so what we're doing is we're using it on the X register. We're not using it. The X register is using the raster rewrite buffer go to X markers to tell it where to draw each layer, and that's why we can have independent scrolling layers that kind of move independently over each other. But vertically, we don't have that. We just have a way of telling it where to start drawing the entire screen, and that means every layer as well, not just individual layers. So that's what we're doing here with this value. So hopefully this just works. I strongly suspect it won't, but let's try it anyway. But yeah, if you put the C65 or the Mega65 into 80 column mode, and then you use yeah, it's not made any difference. I don't think we're getting any Wi-Fi at all. But you can see how the HUD has disappeared at the top. Thanks for the follow, MacHood48, and just another anti player. Thank you very much for the follows. Appreciate it, guys. Yeah, if you set 80 column mode, and then set vertical scaling so that you basically squash the screen, you can have 80 columns wide, 50 columns high, and then if you remove the borders as well, you can get even more. So if you remove the borders all around, you get quite an insane amount of characters on the screen in a borderless thing. So, which is something I could have gone for. Anyway, could have gone for with this and gone for like a double resolution thing, but I kind of preferred doing this instead. So 80 by 50 would fit a 4K game in. Yeah, yeah, indeed. Hey, Chuck. Yeah, that's good, man. How are you? How are you? Just trying to work out how to use this freaking Mega 65. So it's a bit funky. I'm about to do some speed running actually in about 15 minutes. Going to give GoldenEye another shot for the lols. I held the world record for facility, speedrunning facility, for all of about 12 hours until somebody chopped 10 seconds off it. To be fair, it was a world record because there was only 2 in the chart. So, oh yeah, it's good, isn't it? It's a really, really good version of it. I mean, it is essentially the same version. It's just, it's just high definition, really. All right, let's have a look. Why is this value not being? Is this even being changed? Let's go and have a look. Yeah, why? Fine. Okay, so it's not going to be in there. It's going to be on a control layer. Move vertical. Layer Y, fine. layer, yeah, layer Wi-Fi. There we go. So yeah, should be being controlled in here, but we're not seeing it. Okay. Okay, so is that because we're exiting this too soon, maybe? No, it doesn't look like it. It comes down to here, and this is fine. Um, I mean, this doesn't need to be applied for every layer. We only need to do this based on one layer. So actually, we can get rid of this loop completely because that doesn't need to be there. And this would be layer Wi-Fi plus control layer because we only care about this one layer, so we may as well use this control layer. You have to figure out how to set it up. It's not too difficult, really. Um, do I find control? Uh, yeah, I mean, it takes a pretty potato computer to not be able to run it. So, oh, okay. So, okay. Uh, what the hell has it done here? What? I mean, no, it's running that screen, but look how far down the screen it's gone now. It shouldn't go that far down. Let me just try a hard reset. Hang on. Yeah, Mac might not work actually. Yeah, it was a demo effect, wasn't it? Yeah, Mac. Well, I don't know. It depends if the emulator is available on the Mac. So, oh yeah, you've got a new PC now, haven't you? How are you finding that? Good. It's exactly what every retro streamer needs, right? It's a high end PC. So, okay, yeah, that's something really broken here. Okay, so first of all, it should not become a Y. That's the problem there. Mm. Copper effect, yeah. I'm kind of glad it doesn't have copper lists actually on a Mega65 because it would just end up with you just end up with stuff that I mean it's already kind of starting to look like an Amiga anyway, but you'd have even more stuff that look like Amiga demos and that. So, oh, there we go. And there we go. We've got smooth scroll, but you can see the offsets are slightly wrong. You see how you can see the screen appearing at the bottom and at the top it's a bit wrong. Obviously that's because I've hit the edge of the map when it does that. But this is just this value here. So what we're doing is we're getting a value here. The reason why we're subtracting it from 32 or 20 in hex is because actually the fine y is needs to be flipped the other way, because pulling down needs to scroll the map up that way, pushing up needs to scroll it down, and so the values need to be flipped on the head. So it's kind of like when you're scrolling left and right on the C64, your most position to the actually no, it's the same with vertical, so it's not the same on horizontal. So that's what we need to do there. But you can see that the position is off slightly because we can see stuff appearing at the bottom. So this value needs to change here, the amount that we need to add. So I'm just going to reduce it slightly. Hopefully that should give us. And if this works, I'm gonna take a 2 minute. Well, actually, no, I won't take a break. I'll just jump straight onto it. Um, we'll get GoldenEye on the go and we'll see if we can get close to any more records. I doubt it though. Okay, so it looks like we need to add more, not less. Um, Still seeing stuff at the bottom. So this is very much hit and miss until I get the right values, unfortunately. But it feels like it's working now, which is good. So if I wanted to scroll the the parallax layers in the background independently for the parallax, um, then what I would have to do, and I'm going to have to do it with the hood. This is why the hood is flickering like that. What I would have to do is I would have to independently move them, move the characters in them. So kind of like scrolling the data in the characters. Now, look, there's a way to do that in the Mega 65's char renderer, but in order to do that, you need to have a space underneath and above each character, which means for a background, you would have to have an awful lot of stuff that would, that would waste memory by having space. But you can see that still looks good. Even though the parallax isn't there vertically, you can see it's perfectly static. When you're moving left and right, it's hard to even notice. It still feels like it's moving up and down a little bit, and it's just because you're seeing the parallax from this point of view, from the horizontal point of view. You're not seeing it from the vertical point of view. But when you combine the two, it looks fine. So that looks kind of good. I think I'm happy with that. I can't see any stuff appearing at the bottom or at the top. I'm going to get rid of the hood. I'm going to change that for sprites. So I'm not gonna mess around with that now. So this is one of the reasons why it's worth putting sprites there, because if I keep characters there, I have to then. Oops. No, 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 no. Not having this. Don't tell me it stopped all of a sudden. Oh my god, it did. It stopped again. Oh, I need to get my monster joystick in, but you can see how that's, even though it's vertical. I mean, what do you think, Stoker? That's still going to work well, isn't it? Even though it is static, it still looks like it's moving up and down because you are moving, that you are scrolling the rest of the screen up and down. It's going to work, I think. So that'll look cool. So yeah, and that saves us having to, because the other problem, of course, as well, is um if you are scrolling the vertical layers independently, then you probably need to redraw them every frame, and that would mean anytime you move up or down, every single layer would have to be redrawn. Because of the way that the vertical independence would work. This way, the only time you need to redraw them is if you cross the boundaries. They would need to all be redrawn at the same time, so we probably have to reduce the layer count. At the moment, we're using 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, technically 5 background layers, sprite layer, and the hood layer. So that's 7 layers. Um, Sprite layer is going to stay in. Hood layer is going to go. Foreground layer obviously needs to stay in, and I think we'll probably just have 2 background layers, so it'll probably be 4. So yeah, exactly. Have the optical illusion of vertical parallax. Yeah, exactly. So if you move this way and move up and down, it kind of looks like there's vertical parallax going on, but there isn't. Um, which, as I say, is going to be fine for what we need to achieve. And obviously, the scenery is going to be very different in Perseus. So at the moment, this is just some random free asset pack that I picked up offline. Um, what we're going to have is we're going to have custom backgrounds that are going to be much more well, they're going to be steampunk kind of themed, so they should be it should work. I think it's going to work really well, so I think it's good. Cool. So on that note, let's switch over. Let me just change the stream title.